bankers launch next leg of planned economic collapse. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Economics professor, U.S. has to cut $20 trillion or face financial collapse. Adam Levitin tells Congress Citigroup, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, and Wells Fargo are all insolvent. In other words, they're worthless in reality. Of course, the American people and Congress are in denial, so they're not going to admit what's really going on. Beijing downgrades U.S. Treasury to A+. In a radical report, the UN Conference on Trade and Development has said the system of currencies and capital rules which binds the world economy is not working properly, was largely responsible for the financial and economic crises. It added that the present system under which the dollar acts as the world's reserve currency should be subject to a wholesale reconsideration. The bots from Cliff High, primary supporting set for the market's archetype which forms the topmost layer of market's entity, is in fact shock. In other words, the markets are going to be shocked. Sudden drops, sudden rises, but predominantly headed downwards in a spiral. There are a large number of supporting sets for the global impact of the derivatives meltdown on the social order. Because of the widespread nature of this fiscal cancer, data sets are indicating that social family fabric will be stressed to the breaking across the planet. The data sets include details for rapes, murder, suicides, flight, capture, incarceration, and even execution, all as major linguistic structures. Then we have noise from Phoenix Rising, massive blue-collar strikes, relocations of key factories overseas, computerization of factories, extended import-export embargoes, and massive taxations. All going on right now, actually, and has been for some time. She published this, I believe, back in the 70s. And then we have increased unemployment. Unemployment is around 20 to 25% in actuality and reality. Widespread factory shutdowns, excessive taxation, and a whole host of small business failures. You can see that in any town. Go down and watch where businesses used to be, and you see a for lease or for sale sign in the window. The insolvency of many banks. Practically every week, another group of banks actually fails. Stock market misdealings and decline, drastic construction decline, and a devaluation of real estate. Is that not happening? An increase in corporate crime, a drop in the level of manufactured goods, an increase in corporate monopolies and takeovers, and an increase in personal bankruptcies, all of which are happening right now. Then she talks about widespread layoffs, and I'm talking 30 to 50% probably, if not even greater. Runaway credit purchases, and eventually cash becomes the only accepted legal tender. Amazing. She claims the stock market actually goes to zero. I want to get back to the mark of the beast. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom, the number 666, which, by the way, is embedded in our great seal of the United States of Babylon. And the exact order is presented in the Bible. Fascinating how all this puts together. People just don't believe the Bible. The image, a hair-thinned electronic patch that adheres to the skin like a temporary tattoo, could transform medical sensing, computer gaming, and even spy operations, according to a U.S. study published on Thursday. The microelectronics technology, called an epidermal electronic system, EES, developed by an international team from the United States, China, and Singapore. Amazing, because China is most likely going to be the model that the New World Order government will be based upon. This is all not by accident, folks. It's all by design. Silent weapons for quiet wars. The war of the elite against the people of the world. It's class warfare. The objective of such studies, in economics really, is to acquire the know-how to set the public economy into a predictable state of motion or change. What did Obama promise? Even via controlled, self-destructive state of motion, which will convince the public that certain expert people should take control of the money system and reestablish security rather than liberty and justice for all. Kind of interesting in view of the protocols of the Elders of Zion, that non-existent conspiracy book, going actually exactly the way they said it would. Then we come up with the next one, which is very, very interesting. Eventually, every individual element of this structure comes under computer control through a knowledge of personal preferences, such knowledge guaranteed by Computer Association of Consumer Preferences, because you buy with credit cards. And so they can guarantee who did what, how did they do it. And then it leads to a permanent tattooed body number invisible under normal ambient illumination. A permanent tattooed body number invisible under normal ambient illumination. This is the mark of the beast, folks. That's what it is. And that's all it is. Bible has been 100% accurate and will continue to be 100% accurate. It is amazing that so few people understand or know anything about it, even though it's all coming true right under their nose. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. Thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee. Thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head. Thou shalt be the tail. International banking cartels come into the country. They set up a banking system. It's called the Federal Reserve. It is a curse. The whole thing is a curse from God for abandoning Jesus Christ, abandoning the scriptures, paying no attention to biblical prophecy, paying no attention basically to anything, and the American people finally wake up and they're enslaved. They become total and complete slaves to the banking system. Hence the mark. Don't take the mark, you're in a lot of trouble. Thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. The huge American international corporations are called, actually, if you look that up, the lords of the whole earth. And they destroy the entire planet. Then, of course, we have Psalm 2, the kings of the earth and the merchants, the rulers, all set it up. And they set it up so that they run the entire planet and you are the slave. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Enigma Files, and we'll see you again.